NVIDIA Reflex 2 will reduce latency in games by up to 75%, coming soon to the finals and Valorant. NVIDIA Reflex 2, the next evolution of the innovative tech used today in over 100 games to reduce latency, promises to further reduce latency by up to 75%. As announced during CES 2025, NVIDIA Reflex 2 will combine Reflex low latency mode with a new frame warp technology that will further reduce latency by updating the rendered game frame based on the latest mouse input before it is sent to the display. This new technology was developed based on a study conducted by NVIDIA's sports research team 4 years ago, which illustrated how players could complete aiming tasks faster when frames are updated after being rendered based on the more recent mouse input. As such, shifting or warping an existing frame to show the result of the action sooner could bring some significant improvements in terms of latency. This is exactly what NVIDIA Reflex 2's frame warp tech does. As a frame is being rendered by the GPU, the CPU calculates the camera position of the next frame in the pipeline based on the player's input. Frame warp samples the new camera position from the CPU and warps the frame rendered by the GPU to the newer camera position, doing so at the very last moment to ensure the latest input is shown on screen. To prevent the small holes in the image created when the new camera position shows a new part of a scene, NVIDIA developed a latency-optimized predictive rendering algorithm that uses camera, color, and depth data from prior frames to fill these holes accurately, making players see the rendered frame with the updated camera position without any hole and with reduced latency for any action that caused the camera shift. All this will allow players to improve their aim and tracking of enemies. Together with the explanation above, NVIDIA also showcased NVIDIA Reflex 2 with its frame warp technology in Embark Studios' The Finals, which will be among the first games to support it. Without Reflex, on an RTX 5070 GPU at 4K max settings, latency is 56 ms, which is reduced to 27 ms with Reflex 1 and to 14 ms with Reflex 2. NVIDIA Reflex 2 with its frame warp technology will also provide significant improvements in CPU-limited scenarios. In Valorant, which will also support the technology soon, on an RTX 5090 that can run the game at over 800 FPS on the RTX 5090, latency is reduced to an average of under 3 ms with frame warp, which is extremely impressive. NVIDIA Reflex 2 will debut together with the GeForce RTX 50 series GPUs, with support for other RTX GPUs coming in the future. More information on the newly announced technology can be found on NVIDIA's official website.